Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United 4, Everton 0. Valencia, Mkhitaryan, Lukaku, Rashford. It went off like a bottle of pop, like it always does for Manchester United at the moment. Absolutely superb result. I would have took. What would I have took? I would have took 1-0. I really would. I would have been absolutely ecstatic with that because that game was just about winning 3 points, and we spoke about it. We saw what and I just want to say as well, whether we're officially top of the league or not, Man City have scored so many goals over the last few games, and our goal difference is the same as theirs after that result today. So sit down, City. We're still with you, and we're going to hang in there regardless of whether we lose our best player like Pogba, because the difference with Manchester United today, and talking about man of the match is going to be a great conversation, but the difference about Manchester United today, and I said it at 2-0, is that last season I didn't notice a lot today from United of difference between last year. I thought at times we were quite poor, frustrating, not clinical. But the thing about United this season, and it's very early, is that we are scoring so many goals. Even against Stoke last week when we dropped 2 points, we still scored 2 goals away from home. And we dropped the points there because defensively we weren't sound. But in front of goal, we're scoring so many goals. And we've got so many good options off the bench, which is fantastic. But I just want to say as well, despite the fact that we won 4-0, and I'm not sure whether he's my man of the match because I think I know who my man of the match is, but I just want to say, despite the fact that we won 4-0, David De Gea deserves a massive shout out. He made 2 fantastic saves, absolutely fantastic. Rooney should score right in the start of the second half, and De Gea makes the save again, and that probably keeps us back in the game. But let's start from the start. That goal by Valencia, you're going to enjoy match of the day tonight. We all are. What a finish! What a finish by Valencia. Half volley, blasts it into the virtual top corner. It may as well have been there because Pickford wasn't going to save it. We go ahead 1-0. And then it was a battle. You know, Everton, I'm not an Everton fan, I'm a Manchester United fan, so of course I'm going to take 4-0. I'm ecstatic about it, but Everton will be wondering what went wrong there, because at times I think they would have felt they deserved a draw from it, and maybe at times United were quite frustrating, but you cannot move away from the fact that to do it once is probably a one-off. To do it twice, you start to think, well, maybe it's 2 flukes, but we've done it 3 or 4 times now in the last 20 minutes, last 10 minutes of games. Destroyed teams, absolutely destroyed teams, and you can't fault it. You cannot fault it. We were 1-0 up and we win it 4-0, and everything we did. I mean, Martial again. I think Martial should have come on for Rashford, not Lingard. And I'm not got nothing against Lingard. I think Lingard's a good squad player, but there's a world of difference between Jesse Lingard and Martial. I don't understand why he brought Lingard on for Rashford. It should have been Martial, and you know, Martial only came on for 4 minutes. His stats this season from the bench must be unbelievable. Minutes to goals and assists, because he comes on, he goes past 2 players, the last one has to handball it, and then he steps up and puts the penalty away as well. You cannot not be bringing Martial on earlier than that. That's the only criticism I've got of Mourinho, is why didn't you bring Martial on sooner? Because it was absolutely brilliant from him. But again, Lukaku gets a goal and assist after missing a sitter in the first half. Mkhitaryan, who I thought had a bit of a in and out game. I thought Mata was the better creator, and then Mkhitaryan scores. And if you've got Mkhitaryan in your fancy team or whatever, he is the stat man. He is the stat man in the last few games, last few minutes of the season. And we are killing teams in the last few minutes of the season. How we've come away with a 4-0 win there is just so impressive, because it was never a 4-0. It was a 1-0 hard fought win. A massive 3 points for us. We needed that 3 points, and I think, you know, when you're talking about our United title contenders, what a weekend it's been. Spurs drop points, Liverpool drop points, Chelsea and Arsenal drop points. Yes, City won, but you know, when 4 out of your 5 rivals drop points, that's a good weekend. You know, it's very rare that all of them drop points and we win. So, you know, maybe next week City will drop points. But from a United point of view, there becomes a point where a good start to the season becomes a consistent start to the season, becomes title contenders, and it's way too early. We've got Southampton away next week. That's going to be very tough, and we'll take it every game as it comes, but that's a very impressive 3 points for United. So, player performances, man of the match. I think that the man of the match cannot be any of the goal scorers, because to give the credit to the 4-0, which it totally does deserve, it was sort of like what we've done before. Hard work done for 80 minutes, and then you get 3 goals at the end to sort of maybe flatter the scoreline, but you score the goals, you take the points. So for me, Matic is my man of the match. I said in the preview that without Pogba, it's different. We missed Pogba last season when he got injured, but what we've got this year is Matic. He cost us £40 million. I wasn't sure about him. A few United fans weren't sure about him, but his start to the season's been fantastic. And what Matic did today, because I don't think Fellaini had such a good game today. I really don't. And I'm not throwing him under the bus at all. I just think replacing Paul Pogba's athleticism, skill, ability to switch the play, ability to run with the ball with Fellaini was always going to be a downgrade. It was always going to be a downgrade. And at times we saw that downgrade. Everton got hold of the midfield at times. But Matic's experience and ability to, position himself and keep going, and he set the Valencia goal up, and he had a big part to play in Lukaku's goal. I thought Matic was brilliant at running the game today, and Everton had a lot of the ball, and Matic kept going and going and going. So Matic gets man of the match for me. I thought Valencia played well. His goal almost makes him default man of the match. I thought Ashley Young was brilliant at left back as well. I really did think Young played well. Everton's biggest threat was down the right, and he battled. Because Rashford was poor. Rashford will be a great player, but he will have games like that today. Lukaku did quite well. He kept battling. I think Lukaku does so much off the ball. Mata played well. Mkhitaryan was a bit in and out for me, like I said. And Fellaini, I think, a bit disappointed by Fellaini today. Not in a bad way, but he didn't have as good a game as he had. But Everton are probably the best opposition we had. Jones did okay. Bailly was very disappointing. De Gea was fantastic when called upon. Mike D says, beyond overjoyed. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Matic, man of the match. I'm glad that some people do agree with that. Fellaini was good, Mark says too. So I disagree, but it's all about opinion. I thought the midfield was a problem, and I don't like Fellaini in the midfield too. I'd rather have put Fellaini where Mkhitaryan was and played Herrera in there. But we've won 4-0. I'm not gonna start throwing people under the bus. Personally, I really like Eric Bailly. I thought he was our worst player today. Rooney, at times, had him in his pocket. But are we going to dwell on that when we've won 4-0 and kept a clean sheet? Of course we're not. This is not the sort of show where we're going to start saying they were bad, they were bad, they were bad. I thought, yeah, if you want the worst player on the pitch, if that means anything, it would be Bailly. But I think Bailly is going to be one of the best centre-backs in world football. So I don't want to dwell on that. The thumbnail is wrong, Chad. It does need to be changed. The thumbnail is wrong because I'm live an hour, a minute pretty much after the watch-along and committed to 2-0, and then we scored a couple more. So I will change that. Martial looks happy and content, says Larry Evans. That's very important. All Martial can do is come on and do what he did, and he was fantastic. Even the way he created the penalty in a tight space, the skill was fantastic. St. Cole, I don't think you watched. Stop drawing me into negatives. He says Bailly was not disappointing what he was putting on his body line. If you watch that game, Bailly made 2 big mistakes that could have led to goals, and he did it last week. He needs to improve his concentration levels. I'm not saying he was a 4 out of 10. I'm saying if it matters to you, who was the worst player on the pitch, it would be Bailly and Rashford. But I like both of them. Matic was superb, says Karen Man United. De Gea, my man of the match. You know what, Ryan Hill? I love that comment because I think De Gea was right up there. He made some fantastic saves. Making Old Trafford a fortress again, says Minnie. Good. Martial should be our default penalty taker, says Ridwan. I don't think it can beat Lukaku. I just don't like Lukaku's technique. The dribbling from Martial was superb. I mean, Martial was almost man of the match, but he wasn't on long enough. Martial is cold-blooded. Rashford was poor, says Mike D. Lingard did well, says Professor FC. Yeah, I'm not going to have a go at Lingard. I thought Lingard did well when he came on. But the blunt answer is he shouldn't have come on. It should have been Martial. Martial is better. If Martial had come on with 20 more minutes like Lingard had, I think it would have been 9-0. No, but seriously, you know what I mean? That substitution was wrong. It should not have been Lingard for Rashford. It should have been Martial for Rashford and then Lingard last 5 minutes, because Martial is better than Rashford. Martial is better than Lingard, and I didn't think Lingard did badly when he came on, but look what Martial did when he came on. Martial's the better player. Play Martial. The Martial effect, says Champion's Herbs. Why did Ander Herrera not start, says Palab? Well, you know, I don't know what's going on with Herrera. I think it's something we can pick up on the 8 o'clock show tonight, because I thought, I think Herrera and Matic works better than Fellaini and Matic. People won't see that until we play somebody good, because that midfield today was a bit static and Everton got at it. The lighting's poor because I'm right next to where my TV is, and I've not changed the lighting. And it's getting darker earlier now, but not in Old Trafford. The lights are on. 4-0. What a result. What a fantastic result that was. I'm not going to dwell with you too long tonight, because we're back at 8 o'clock in 2 hours with the Sunday night show. We can delve a little bit deeper. We can talk about our United title contenders now, because a lot of us were concerned about that result today. But for me, Matic was man of the match, and we come out of that game, I think, after 80 minutes of concern, because we were battling. The last 10 minutes blew us all away. Stunning, absolutely stunning, and it's not the first time this season we've seen that. So it's not a fluke anymore. It's become United teams are going to be scared of us in the last 10 minutes of games, which is what we want. We always had that. You know, the game's never over with United, and we're killing teams. Well, not even killing them. We're massacring them, which is great. I'll be back at 8 o'clock. Match of the day is watchable tonight, says Ziad. I look forward to that. Back at 8 o'clock, Sunday Night Live. We'll be talking about Herrera and whether there is a bigger issue, because there's rumours about him. We'll be talking about Martial and how he gets to start games. And we'll be talking about United and whether we really are title contenders yet. Join us live at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a cracking show. Really enjoyed that result tonight. And we are top of the league still. We are top of the league. We've got the same goal difference as City. Bring it on. Speak to you all at 8 o'clock.